Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mina and today we are starting an exciting reading vlog. I hinted about this a couple of weeks ago when I was filming a previous reading vlog, but we are now in September. It is officially September 2nd, I think so. Yeah, yesterday was the 1st, today is the 2nd. So I am in full-on autumn spooky season mood. I know the official start date of autumn is not until like September 20 something, but for me, I feel like once August is over, like that's it for me when it comes to like summer and all that stuff. So I'm already within the spooky season, as you guys can tell. So for this vlog, I wanted to read some books to kind of get me into the spooky season mood. And I talked about reading a bunch of books that are Halloween themed or books that are set on or around Halloween, because I am always looking for books that are kind of like set within the same season, the same like time as I'm experiencing and living in. So obviously around the fall and Halloween season, I really want to read books that are set around that same time and set around that same season. So I did manage to find a few books that are set on or around Halloween and that are Halloween themed, and I'm really excited to get started with them. I will be doing a part 2 of this video as well because I have some other books that are also Halloween themed and I will not be able to get through all of them in one video, and I kind of want to wait until maybe like the end of September into the beginning of October to film part 2 of this video. Of this series, I guess we could call it. So the 3 books that I plan to read over the next few days are Dark Harvest by Norman Partridge, and this is a book that I actually just started reading last night. I'm about 50 pages in, so I will give you guys my thoughts on the beginning of this in a little bit, but this is about a small town, like a very autumnal, fall-esque town, and every year around Halloween there is this entity, this murderous entity known as the October Boy, and he's basically like a scarecrow with a pumpkin head, and there is this deadly competition where all of the young teenage boys have to go out and defeat or kill the October Boy. But of course it's, you know, things go wrong, the October Boy kills people. It's like a violent slashery kind of supernatural Halloween book, and so far I'm really enjoying it. I'm going to give you my thoughts a little bit later, but let me show you the other 2 books that I plan to read in this vlog. I also want to read R.L. Stein's Fear Street book, Halloween Party. This one, I don't know much about it, but it is a YA spooky book about a Halloween party. Somebody either goes missing or dies, and they kind of have to figure out like what happened to that person. And something I'm really surprisingly excited for is this book, Halloween Season by Lucy A. Snyder. I basically just saw this as a recommended book when I was looking up, you know, Halloween books. And this one is an anthology of short stories. I think they're all written by Lucy A. Snyder, but they're all centered around Halloween. They have some kind of Halloween spooky theme to them, which is exciting. And the reason why I'm surprised that I'm excited for this is because I don't tend to pick up anthologies or like short story collections. That's just like not something that I gravitate towards, and I think it's because I really like development in my stories, whether it's like character development or plot development. So usually books that are shorter than like a novella, I will find lack those 2 things. So I don't know, we'll see how it goes. I'm obsessed with this cover though. It's probably like one of my favorite Halloween covers of all time. All of them really are just like stunning, and I love the little pumpkins on them. But these are going to be the books that I'm reading over this long weekend. Today is Thursday. I'm also like in the midst of like prepping for work because we do get started next week. We go back to teaching, and this week it's just a bunch of like chaotic, stressful things like meetings and proctoring exams and recruiting students. So I'm hoping that I will have a good amount of time to just like devote to reading before I get into the semester and start teaching again. But the past few days this week have been very stressful and very overwhelming, so we'll see. I mean, it's almost the weekend, so I can kind of like put work on the back burner and just devote my time to my Halloween reads. So that is the plan for this video. I also want to do some just like spooky fall things during this vlog. I want to check out some decor in like Michael's since I haven't been there in a while. I want to watch some horror movies. I want to bake some like spooky things. So stick around for all that. I will see you guys in a little bit. I have to run over to Target to pick something up, possibly get myself a Starbucks, and then I have to proctor an exam at 1 p.m. online. So I have to be back before then. It's like, I think it's like 11 o'clock right now, or almost 11. So I'm gonna go head out and I will see you guys in a little bit. Okay, you guys, I'm back. I'm sorry it's a little bit dark in this parking spot that I'm in, but I just went to Target and I got the item that I went in there for. And I didn't go crazy and buy anything else except for sponges, which I needed. So I would consider that to be a successful Target trip. So basically, like, I have been eyeing this rust-colored comforter for my bed, or for our bed, and I got it. I kind of like splurged on it because we've had the same look on our bed for a while. Like, our bedding is just plain beige and white, and I kind of wanted something a little bit cozier and just like more fall into winter-esque. So I saw that they had this. I don't know if you can like see the color really well, but it's like this rust slash like burnt orange kind of color, which I think is like perfect for this time of year, and I feel like just makes the room cozier than having like plain beige, plain white. So I think I'm going to use this for like fall and winter, and then when we get back into spring and summer, I'll go back to the beige and white bedding. I also got last week these rust-colored bed sheets to kind of match with it. You're not really gonna see the sheets anyway, but I kind of just wanted like a cozy vibe going into autumn. I wanted a change, so that's what we did there. Also got myself a cold brew. So disappointed in the fact that the Starbucks app does not allow you to add extra sweet cream to your cold brew anymore. Like, they don't even do it where they charge you, because like, whatever, I'll pay the extra $1. But they don't even allow you to do it. It's just unavailable. So I just now get it without extra sweet cream, and maybe I'll just add some like half and half when I get home. But I needed a little bit of caffeine this morning to deal with the struggles of work. Okay, so before I go, I do want to give you guys a little bit of an update, my initial thoughts on Dark Harvest. So I am enjoying this. I'm 50 pages in, and I really like the atmosphere of this book. That is like the best part of this book, is like how well Norman Partridge is describing the atmosphere and the environment. The setting of this is like this small Midwestern town. There's cornfields everywhere. It's fall. Honestly, like the opening paragraph or the opening page of this book literally put, oh my god, that scared the shit out of me. This lady and her son just walked by, but I didn't see them, so like that scared the shit out of me. Oh my god. Anyway, I was saying the opening of this describes fall like absolutely perfect. Like, it was just so spot on. I felt like I was actually there in the town, and it just put me in such a good like fall ambiance. And I just really, really like the way he describes the setting and fall, and it's just a very interesting concept of a book. I love the spookiness of this. I was worried that it was going to be more on the like tame side, because I thought that this was either young adult or like middle grade, but I don't think it is. I actually think that this might be an adult horror. I mean, our main character is a senior in high school. He's like 16 or 17, I think. So it could technically be considered young adult, but I don't know why I read somewhere that it might be considered adult. But so far, there are some really creepy moments. The imagery, the description of the October boy, and like just like the bleakness of this whole experience. It reminds me a lot of like dystopian competitions like the Hunger Games or Stephen King's The Long Walk, where you have to participate in this like deadly like annual ritual and like you may die. Like, I don't know, that's just the vibes that I'm getting from this. I do think that the narration style of this is not my favorite. I feel like he's trying so hard to do like a Stephen King voice and it's not quite working for me. And it is third person, but it's like third person omniscience. So we're getting like a narrator who knows like what's going on in everybody's head, but he sometimes directly addresses the reader. And I don't know, I just feel like the narration style of this could have been done a little bit differently and worked better. Like, this would actually be, in my opinion, scarier if it was like first person from the teenager's point of view rather than getting this like omniscient town narrator. I am enjoying it. I like it. I'm excited to see where it goes. I have to go home now, proctor an exam for like 2 hours, but I might get some reading done on there, and I will check in with you guys later when I have more reading thoughts. Okay, you guys, update time. It is now about 5:30 and I think I'm done with work for the day, but I did get a good chunk of my reading done and oh my god. So I have so much that I want to say about what I've read, but again, I'm going to try to keep this as spoiler free as possible, and I do not want this vlog to be super long, and I have 2 other books to read, so I'm going to try to keep my thoughts concise and get them out as quickly as I can. I'm really liking this. Like, I'm on page 120 now, so I only have 50 pages left of this. It's a really short book, but holy crap, the section that I just read completely like changed my opinion on this. I was liking it from the first 50 pages, but I think now that we had this pretty intense and, for me, surprising reveal at like the halfway point of the book, it just completely turned it around and made it a much different experience, and I'm perceiving things a lot differently now. We learned, I'm not going to say what we learned, but we learned about the origin, I guess you could say, of the October Boy, and it is a lot darker and more disturbing than I thought it would be. And it has made the story so much more interesting and spooky and just like really fascinating to me. The small town and the things that go on and the people who live there, and just like all of the secrets that are kept from the people who live in this town. It's just so freaking fascinating, and it's a lot more complex than I thought it was going into this book. So I'm really happy about the way things are turning out. I do have to say that like I'm getting the vibe of this book, like it's reminding me a lot of The Purge, with like this chaos and like people running rampant in the streets and just like, you know, being violent and trying to kill the October Boy and the October Boy trying to kill them, and it's just like a big mess, and there's like no rules during this like one Halloween night where like anybody could just go out and pretty much like carry weapons and attack each other, and there's no like repercussions. That's like the vibe that I'm getting here. There's also this element to the small town of like people being stuck within there and not being able to escape, and like how the October Boy legend kind of fits in with that like idea of being stuck with this town. It is just very interesting, and I'm like really hyped to see where this goes. Like I said, I have 50 pages left, so I'm hoping I can get through most of it, if not finish it tonight. But this is such a good read. I'm so glad I picked this up, and I heard that this is going to be adapted into a movie, I think next year, 2022. So that is even more exciting. So far, first Halloween themed read is like a solid for me, and I'm really excited to see where this goes. So I'm going to maybe get some more reading in now, maybe take a break, and then I will check in with you guys either tomorrow or later tonight. But so far, so good. My nightly ritual of watching Gilmore Girls. Literally like the best part of my day. Hello everybody, it is now the next day. Happy Friday. Oh my god, so excited for the weekend. Not that I have any plans. Bobby? Not that I have any real plans or anything, but just like the thought that I don't have to get up at 8:30 tomorrow or Sunday or Monday, and that I have time to just like relax, devote to my reading, and not think about students and work is just, you know, it's very nice. So I'm really excited for that. I do still have to work a little bit today. I have a meeting with my teachers, my fellow teachers, at 1:30. So I'm kind of like in a time crunch today because there's so many things that I have to do and places that I have to go, but I want to get everything done before the meeting at 1:30. And right now it's like 11, so I don't know how that's going to work. I have to go to my parents' house, do some laundry. It's a whole thing. So what I want to do now before I do anything is just do a little bit of a review for Dark Harvest, because I did end up finishing this last night. I'm going to keep it very brief because this is only a 170-page book, so I don't want to get too in-depth with my thoughts, and I feel like I've already kind of stated some of the main plot points and synopsis of this book, so you guys should already know what it's about. But I loved this. It was a 5-star read, and it was just, I was pleasantly surprised. I don't know what I was thinking going into this. Like, I knew I would like it for the atmosphere, but it was just so much more than atmosphere for me, and I found myself very interested in the action that was going on, and there were some gruesome moments. It was spooky. It was like sad and heartwarming at times, and it was just so great. So if there is like one book that you're considering picking up during this time of year, I would totally recommend this one because it delivers in so many different elements. It delivers the autumn vibes, like the description of fall and like small towns, and just like the environment of fall, if that makes sense. So if you're looking for something that does that, this book delivers. If you're looking for something that's a little bit spooky but also like kind of like violent and slashery in some ways, this delivers that as well. And if you're looking for just like a good story that takes place on Halloween night, this does that as well. So highly recommend this one. 5-star read. I don't know how the other books are going to compare. I'm actually going to start reading Halloween Party today, and I'm excited. I have not read an R.L. Stein book since like middle school, possibly the beginning of high school, so it's been a while. I don't know how I'm going to enjoy this, but I think it'll just be like a fun time. I also would like to get started on reading maybe 1 or 2 of the stories in Halloween season, so that's exciting. I've got all these plans for today. I want to go to Michael's, check out their decor. I want to get myself possibly a look at Yoda in the background. This is my child, you guys. I also want to get possibly a pumpkin or like fall flavored drink from Starbucks today. And I have brought out the spooky autumn sweater today that I just got from Etsy. I will actually link the shop below if you're interested in checking them out, but it is so cute. It's very like minimal, which you guys know is like my aesthetic. I'm obsessed with the color. I'm obsessed with the fit. I got it in a medium because I wanted something oversized, and it's just so cozy and beautiful. Today is also 73 to 75 degrees, so there's like a little bit of a fall breeze today, possibly. So yeah, I also want to change the sheets and my bedding and transition into the fall aesthetic, so hopefully I can get that done today as well. One more point about Dark Harvest, I'm all over the place today, is that this is actually going to be a film in 2022. I think somebody told me that. So I'm really excited about that now that I've read this, and honestly, just pick up this book this season. You won't be disappointed, and there's gonna be a movie adaptation. So, all right, so I have to go get started on my stuff, and I will check in with you guys later. Okay, so this is the final product of the bedding. It's obviously not perfect because I literally just rushed trying to change the sheets and make the bed. I don't know if I should keep my plant shams. They did give me like the matching pattern here, the pillowcases, but I don't know if I should add this as like a different contrasting color or if it doesn't go. You guys can let me know. I could always switch them out for the same color. I really love the color of the sheets. It's just a little bit darker, and I usually go for like the jersey texture, so I'm obsessed with these sheets. I wish this was a little bit darker, but I think it is okay. Please also ignore the state of my room, the mess, and this is where the cats sleep. I need to fix this. So I basically just put like an old sheet here so that they don't mess up like our bedding. They just like lay down there sometimes. Okay, you guys, so I made it to Starbucks and I got myself, so I didn't want something super pumpkin-y, so I basically just got a vanilla sweet cream cold brew and I added like 2 pumps of pumpkin just so that I could get like a little bit of pumpkin-y flavor but not like OD on it. So let's see if it's good. Okay, this is a winner. Oh my god. Yum. It has like the vanilla taste from the sweet cream, but also like the spicy, like a very little amount of like spiciness from the pumpkin. Like it tastes like the pumpkin spice latte, but not as like overly flavored, which is good because I like very simple flavors with my coffee. I do need to mix it a little bit. But yum. Okay. All right, so I have 45 minutes until I meet with my teachers. So I have to go to my parents' house, which is like 10 minutes away, put in laundry, and then I'm just going to meet with them from there. Haven't gotten any reading done yet today. I hope I have time to do so. I mean, I should later on tonight, but right now I'm just like running all over the place. And then before I go home, I do want to go to Michael's, because I've seen that they have like their full Halloween sections put out in most of them, I think. So we're gonna check that out before I go home, but I will see you guys a little bit later. Okay, you guys, I'm back home now. Finally, it's a little bit later. It's like 5 p.m. I didn't end up going to Michael's today because it was getting late, and I really just wanted to get home and get some reading done because I haven't done any reading today and I really want to get a good chunk of this done. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I also just got 2 more books in the mail and this is going to be part of my part 2 Halloween themed reading vlog series. So in that next part of this series, I will be reading Halloween Fiend, which also has a beautiful cover and is super short, and the classic The Halloween Tree by Bradbury. I've never read anything by Bradbury before, so I'm really excited to see what his writing is like, but I am going to go ahead and get some of this done so I can talk to you guys about my thoughts, and I will see you in a little bit. I'm about to light a new fall candle this weekend because it is a Halloween vlog, so we might as well. I have this one from Target called Falling Leaves, and it smells very creamy creamy and like sugary almost. Oops, doesn't smell like leaves at all, but it does smell good. So we are gonna light it and get some reading in. Okay, so I've gotten a little chunk of this read now, and I do want to give you guys my initial thoughts of the book. I'm on page 70. I think this is like halfway through because the book is like 147 pages, so I'm like almost halfway through, and I'm liking it, but it's kind of reading as I expected it would. Totally cheesy, totally like early young adult, and what I mean by that is like when I was a teenager, we didn't really have like an extensive young adult genre. At least I don't think we did. I mean, R.L. Stein and the Fear Street books and, you know, some other genres, like there were a few books out at the time that I guess you could consider to be young adults. But I think like within the past decade or so, or less than a decade, has been where the YA genre has just like exploded to a much bigger proportion, and a lot of the YA books that are out today are a lot more intense. They're a lot more like mature, I guess you could say, a lot more complex. And I think that for like a 90s YA book, this is just more of like a fun time, cheesy type of read rather than anything that's going to be like super life-changing. I didn't think that this was going to be like a 5-star all-time favorite, but I am having fun with it. So basically this is about a group of teenagers who get invited to this Halloween party by this new girl in school that they don't really know well. And she's kind of like a mysterious person in school. Nobody's really close to her. They don't know much about her life, but she does live in this old, kind of like decrepit, possibly haunted mansion with her uncle. And everybody knows about that mansion and everybody believes that mansion to be haunted. So one day they all get invited to a Halloween party to go to that mansion and stay there for the entire night and like play games, dance, eat food, and like have a good time. But the group of people who are invited don't understand why they're there, like why she invited them in particular, since she's not close to any of them. So it's kind of like a mystery vibe that we're getting so far. Like, what is the connection between the 9 party guests? Why did this character choose them to come to her party? And also, like, who is this girl, and like what's the story behind her haunted house, her life, and her like relationship or connection to her uncle, and her backstory with her family. So it's like more of a mystery aspect than horror. I do think that things are going to get more into a horror direction from now. We've just experienced a moment where they're kind of like breaking off separately throughout the mansion to do a scavenger hunt. I think we're gonna learn some things, some spooky things, some secrets, and I definitely do have suspicions about the girl who invited them all to the party. I think that there's something sinister possibly behind her like intentions. So we shall see, but so far I'm not getting like super spooky vibes, but I guess this is just like the nature of R.L. Stein, Fear Street types of books. There's a lot of setup, there's a lot of build-up. It's super cheesy and like teen B-movie-esque, but I'm hoping that this second half of the book will deliver a little bit more chills, because right now I'm just getting like mystery vibes. I do like that this takes place on Halloween, and I do like the whole like setting of a Halloween party. It's there's a lot of like good atmosphere in that regard, so that's something that I'm liking. But so far it's an average read. Like, it's good, but it's not great. So I'm going to probably get some more reading in tonight, and hopefully I'll be able to finish it like early tomorrow, and then I can get started on the short story collection. So I will check in with you guys either later or possibly tomorrow. Hello you guys, it's now the next day. It is Saturday. It's like 1 p.m. now, but I did end up finishing Halloween Party earlier this morning, so I want to give you guys like a rapid review because I don't need this vlog to exceed 40 minutes and we're getting there. So I did end up enjoying this book. I feel like to me it was an average read, and I think I'm going to rate it about a 3.5 out of 5 stars, but that's still good. Like, I still enjoyed it. I still had fun with it. You just have to go into this book expecting it to be very cheesy and just like nothing revolutionary in terms of like the horror genre. I do wish that some of the scares and like spooky moments occurred a little bit earlier in the book because it did take a while, and this book is only 150 pages. So the fact that like the real scary moments only started at like the 85 page mark kind of felt like the pacing wasn't perfect to me. But I did like it, and I would still definitely recommend it for people to read around this time of year if you're looking for something that's kind of like light horror, more of like a cozy locked room mystery feel. And I did appreciate like where the plot went with this. I thought that like the secrets that were revealed towards the end were fascinating, and it was just a fun time. So I liked it. Was it the best read I've ever like experienced? No, but it was a fun read. I also got started with some of the stories in Halloween season. I read the first one last night, and to me, it was meh. It wasn't super spooky, which is why I was a little bit disappointed. It was more like grief heavy and discussing the topic of death and like losing loved ones more than it was chilling. So I didn't really care for the first story. However, I'm halfway through the second story in here and I'm liking it a lot more. It has a lot more promise. It's giving me some eerie vibes. There's some like mystery that's building in here, which I'm really excited to see where this goes, and love, as usual, like the Halloween atmosphere and the vibes associated with that. So far it's promising. We'll see how it goes. I am planning to go to Michael's today and check out their Halloween decor and just continue with my weekend reading and doing more like fall-esque activities. So I will check in with you guys later. Hello you guys, it is now Monday today. I'm off for Labor Day, but I did want to come on here and finish up the vlog for you guys because yesterday I ended up finishing Halloween season. I pretty much read almost the entirety of this book yesterday, and just to make this like a quick little review, I did not enjoy this book, sadly. So one of the things that was really disappointing about this book was that it just didn't have like this mainstream interpretation of like Halloween and autumn that most of us have. So think of like what you see on this cover and like what you feel when you think of Halloween and autumn. You just don't get that within the stories of this collection. And it was really disappointing to me because I was expecting trick-or-treating and spooky stories and ghosts and just like a bunch of things that remind me of Halloween and the autumn season, and a lot of the stories in here were not particularly scary to me. They did have some little light horror elements to them, but it felt more to me like this author was just collecting a bunch of random stories that she had written in the past and then threw them together and called it Halloween season. There were also two stories in here that were Christmas themed, which completely like caught me off guard, and I was like, why are they in here? And most of the ones that were actually set on Halloween, they like all had to do with like the occult and like alternative religious deities and like things of that nature. So I didn't particularly care for the direction of most of these stories, and it was just not for me, to be honest. So I don't think I would recommend this one. If you're really looking for something with autumn and Halloween vibes, I think the first two books that I read in this vlog were so much better, and they definitely delivered those vibes a lot better than Halloween season did. So these are two that I would recommend, and honestly I think this vlog was successful. I had two really great fun Halloween reads. There was one miss, but it's okay, it happens. I'm just glad that I was able to get through all of these books in like one weekend, and it was just like a fun weekend. I'm excited to do part 2 of this, so stay tuned for that when I read more Halloween themed books. Also wanted to quickly show you guys that I got this pumpkin head pillow from Michael's when I went the other day, so I'm obsessed with this. I just put it on the bed here, and that's gonna be it for this vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you all very soon in my next video, and I hope that everybody has a wonderful day today. Bye guys!